I want to make a video, so I've got a confession to make. I'm a little bit of a gamer, a little bit, just a tiny little itty bitty bit, right? So I enjoy the video games, right? So whether I'm giving people non-lethal permanent brain injuries in the Yakuza series, or I'm playing a little game called How Quickly Can I Make My Opponent Leave the Game in Tekken 7, also known as Tekken 7. Yeah, I feel dirty. Regardless, I'm a bit of a gamer, but I'm also a little bit of a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a cool guy. And see, much like all of you cool guys out there, I go out there and I put on my live stream. I stream to lots of people, and I review every single game in my Steam library. Because that's what all the cool guys do. But see, in this idea I had a few slip-ups here and there. Play it too. Play Yakuza 0 as well. Yakuza 0 is the sequel to God's Return, because it is that impressive and nonsensical. Actually, so that's why today, you and I, you, specifically you and I, we're gonna sit together and we're gonna go through my Steam library. It won't take too long, I promise. Like, if we take a look here, let's take a, there's 382. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we, here, let's back it up a bit. So like most cool guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit and we're gonna review every single Steam game in my library as quickly as possible. Yeah, like quickly, fast, super fast, incredibly fast. Okay, starting out our list, we have 36 fragments of midnight. Fragments of midnight. I've played 16 whole minutes of this, so assuming I got all 36 fragments in 16 minutes, I'd say the game's pretty easy. 7 out of 10. Absolver is basically For Honor, but you use martial arts, and you fight AI, unless you don't want to, because then you can go online. Online is such a crazy, wacky. 6 out of 10. Amnesia Dark Descent. I played this for 50 minutes because I am afraid, I am scared, and I don't like it. I don't want to play it because it's scary. I think it's a 9 out of 10.
Be a big shot. They got no code, man. They think the law's a joke. Seriously. I look like I'm joking?
APB Reloaded. I think it was free because if I spent money on it, I, as a dumbass, I played it for 3 minutes, so 3 out of 10. Arma 3. It's cool. Your entire keyboard does something. You take control of a real-life military person somewhere in the world, and you hack into their brains, and then you play as them. 9 out of 10. Assassin's Creed 2 is the best Assassin's Creed game there was. 6 out of 10. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Hold on. I love this juice. This juice is good. It's Arizona. Anyways, Assassin's Creed Syndicate? Yeah, it's like a 4 out of 10. Assassin's Creed Origins? Can anybody tell me anything about Assassin's Creed Origins? Assassin's Creed Origins. Can anybody tell me anything about Assassin's Creed Origins that isn't just, hey, it uses the Dark Souls system, and now it's in Egypt? Batman the Telltale series. This is a game that I played 14 hours of, and I think I only played it once. So it's long. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a I'm gonna give it the very first 8.1 out of 10. Can we hear a little bit of? Can we get a little bit of 8.1 out of 10? There you go. All right, Batman Arkham Asylum. It's a Batman game. It's in the. It's Batman game. 9 out of 10. Arkham City is like Arkham Asylum, except it doesn't take place in Arkham Asylum. It takes place in Arkham City. 9 out of 10. Batman Arkham Origins takes place in Arkham Origins. It's like a 5 out of 10. And this time, for the first time ever, Arkham Knight has us playing as Batman. I couldn't believe it when I started playing as Batman. I thought that was really cool. But I wasn't fond of the new setting of Knight. 9 out of 10. Battle Block Theater. Good times for about 30 minutes. And then it's just a game. Six out of 10. Bayonetta. This game won't run on my PC. 9 out of 10. Beast Blaster. Definitely didn't buy this. Got it off one of those 5 random Steam games. Have 0 hours in it. So that's why I'm gonna give it the very first 0 out of 10. Beat Saber. I suck at Beat Saber. People who are good at Beat Saber scare me. I'd rather play Guitar Hero because I'm a 90s kid and I want to play Guitar Hero and rock out to Aerosmith and have the weird crazy people from Guitar Hero 3 where they look like deformed I don't know, like B idol stars. I don't know, but it's kind of disturbing, but I prefer it. 8 out of 10 for Guitar Hero, not for Beat Saber. Beat Saber gets like a 6 out of 10. Alright, Bioshock. Bioshock 1 is really good. Like, actually, like, no, it's good. Play it. It is a good time. You will enjoy yourself doing it. It's like going to an amusement park, except it's not an amusement park. Bioshock 2, I didn't like it as much as I did the first one because I prefer to be an amusement park and be scared of it rather than playing as the security guard who basically just gets to walk around and tell kids to not vandalize and basically just watching everything happen and then not be scared of literally anything. So yeah, not as good as the first. 10 out of 10. Black Desert Online. I never actually played. Cool. Black Squad. Yeah. Borderlands 2. It's basically borderline insanity. Just kidding. It's actually kind of boring after a while. Sorry if you like it. This is an important time to mention that this is my opinion. I feel all of this is my opinion. This is my opinion, not yours. This is my opinion. Borderlands the pre-sequel I never played. Bibuli Scholarship Edition is a game in which you terrorize little kids and play as a bully according to every single news outlet, and then in reality you are playing as a dude who beats the shit out of bullies, and I think that's kind of funny. Burnout Paradise. Not as good as Burnout 3 Takedown or Revenge. So, yeah, cool. Call of Duty 4. I played up until Modern Warfare 2, and because I am trash 90s kid, of course, I unironically held the username MLGXFires with a Z at the end. And I wish I was making this up, but I wasn't. And you'll actually discover that this was not even the worst thing that I have done when I was a kid, and we'll get to that. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is a game in which it is a sequel to Black Ops the 1, and I've played it for 99 minutes, and then I turned it off because I wasn't big into it. 10 out of 10. Modern Warfare 2. This is the game in which I only used an intervention I wanted to have the little buttons in my username like all the hackers did, but I was too scared to ask because I didn't want to let a hacker touch my account. Yeah, I'm a true rebel. Call of Duty World War II was probably one of the most boring experiences I've ever had in a while, mostly due to the fact that I only played the story and they blew their load with D-Day happening right at the start, and then nothing else was ever as interesting as that. So, 10 out of 10. Choice Chamber. I don't know what this is. I have 0 hours in it, and at this point I'm too afraid to install it because I feel like it will harm me. Chompy chomp chomp. Once again, I have no idea what this is. I would prefer not to talk about it or install it for that matter, and yes, I am still scared that it will harm me or my computer, and maybe both. Chrome is a game. It's also a browser that's infinitely more successful than Chrome was. However, at the same time, I've never quite seen a protagonist look as derpy as our protagonist John Chrome here does. Or his real name is Logan something. Which, wow, they really got the cool names with this game. 10 out of 10. Chrome Spec Force, I'm assuming stands for Special Forces instead of, I don't know, super power effective combat force. Yeah, superpower effective combat force, where it is the sequel, or maybe the prequel. I genuinely don't know because I played this game for a total of 2 minutes. Comedy Night is great if you want to hear other people be racist, and then it's pretty much not as fun after the 3rd or 4th minute of listening to it, because then it just becomes actually offensive because you realize that 90% of the people on here aren't comedians, but instead just really aggressive people who would really prefer if certain people didn't live in their country. Okay, Counter-Strike Global Offensive is garbage. Creativerse is what I'm assuming is probably a Fortnite clone mixed with Minecraft, because it has create in the title, and yeah. Cyborg Detonator is a game in which I'm assuming you detonate cyborgs. I have 0 hours in it, and it's getting the I haven't played award. Dark Souls 3 is a game in which I'd get bullied by basically all my friends into playing it, and then when I end up playing it, I end up getting bullied even more once I start playing it. So it gets the trauma award because it is stuck with me as a horrible experience. 9 out of 10. The Darkness 2 is a game in which you have 2 things on you, and you are a demon and you have guns. So it gets Daisy is a game in which you play as Day Zed. I don't know, you play as somebody, and in reality it's just kind of not that entertaining because you're just running from one point of the map to the other, hoping that you don't die, and then eventually you do die, and it's not that fun. It gets a 6 out of 10. Dead Cells is a game in which you play as this dude who it's basically Hades but not as fun. Yeah, okay. Dead Rising is the prequel to Dead Rising 2, and neither of them are my cup of tea, so there you go. Destiny 2. What do I say about Destiny 2 that hasn't been said before? It is a complete waste of time, and everything about it is awful, except for, the soundtrack is kind of good. So otherwise, it gets a 10 out of 10. The soundtrack was really good. Deus Ex Game of the Year Edition. I don't know why it's always been Game of the Year. We're in 2021, and yet it's still Game of the Year. So, we should be able to top it at this point. I wonder if Deus Ex Mankind Divided has you playing as man who has an impeccable beard and cool hair with glasses that are built into his face, so you think I'd really enjoy it. And I do, up until like the 30th hour, apparently, because I stopped after 30.1 hours, so... Yeah. Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition is a game in which I haven't actually beaten, except I've heard everybody say it's really good, and I am a big fan of the Devil May Cry series, so I feel like a huge poser when people say, man, I really like Devil May Cry 3, and I go, oh my gosh, I know, right? And then I actually have never beaten it, because it is too hard. Devil May Cry 4 is a game in which I have beaten, and I did play it a lot, and the music is really good, and everything about it is awesome, and I really do like Nero, regardless of what people say. Stop bullying him. He is just a poor lad. He is just stop. He's going through enough already. Dirty Bomb, I have not touched, because I presume it to be filthy. Disco Elysium is a game in which you play as a cop, and that cop has a pair of dice that he rolls constantly to determine whether or not he will do a thing, and half the time he will not do a thing. So yeah, it's basically D&D, but you do it to a poor person instead of just to your own character. 10 out of 10. Dishonored 2 is basically the same as Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, except the setting's different. And for that reason, I'm giving it its very own category of an 11 out of 10. This has already taken a lot out of me. Alright. DMC Devil May Cry is basically the epitome of what happens when you take a really successful franchise and you decide to appeal to the hot topic in you, and you don't really do much else aside from make everything awful, including the combat, and yeah, it's not good. Like a 9 out of 10. Don't Starve is a game in which you try not to starve, and you can do it together. Doom in a world where one man must literally destroy hell. He destroys hell, and there's a good soundtrack. Play a little bit of the soundtrack, editor. Me, do it, editor. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to that music. That's good. Truffle II is a party game. Dream Daddy, I didn't actually purchase. I'm gonna tell the story again. I told it on my stream. I'm gonna tell it again. I didn't buy it. Okay, what happened? Literally, is I didn't buy it, but my friend bought it on my account because he wanted to play it with me, and then he ended up not playing it with me, and he ended up just playing it on my laptop while he laid on my bed over there, and he played it on his own for a total of 2 hours. Yeah, that's literally actually what happened. I don't have to prove anything to you. Dust and Elysian Tail is a game in which you play as a Fori, and it has a cool combat system, as well as some really nice music. It gets a furry out of 10. Dying Light is basically the game that I used to play when I was waiting for Mirror's Edge Catalyst to come out, and then when Mirror's Edge Catalyst did come out, I kept on playing Dying Light, which I think there's my review for Mirror's Edge Catalyst as well. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is good. Elder Scrolls Online I have played for 72 hours for some ungodly reason, and yet for whatever reason too, I decided to stop, and I don't know why. And I think I can guess. It's probably due to the microtransactions mixed with the horrible combat. I think that's the reason. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is a game in which you install mods to make it better. I love that juice. Evil Within 2 was the first horror game that I ever played and beaten and actually liked, and now when I try to play Resident Evil 4, I literally can't. Fallout 4 is the most boring piece of shit I've ever played, honestly. If we're like being 100%, I did not enjoy myself at all, and everything needs work. It doesn't just work. Fallout New Vegas is a game in which you go to New Vegas, much like the little Steam wallpaper thingy. This is basically you right here, after evading all the death claws that are behind you, or probably still chasing you for that matter, because they want to put the most important and cool looking place, behind all of these things that can kill you in 2 shots, because that's enjoyable. 10 out of 10. Far Cry 5 is the most also boring game I've ever played. I did not like any of it, and I prefer Far Cry 3 and 4. Final Fantasy 15 made me cry at the end, and then I made me cry again when I watched it again afterward in someone else's playthrough, so it must have done something correct. That game is sad. Firewatch is a game where I unironically got so pissed off that I nearly smashed my keyboard at the very end. I'm not even overplaying it. That is genuinely what happened. There's a lot of invisible walls. The Forest is a game in which I always want to play it with friends and no one actually wants to play it with me back. So then I end up not playing it, and then that's why it's been sitting at 2.4 hours since October 11th, 2019. Gang Beasts is a game that you play for 20 minutes and then realize that it's the exact same thing over and over and over again, so it's really just depending on how funny your friends are versus how enjoyable the game actually is to play. Gary's Mod is a game with Gary in it, and it's his mod, I think, and so therefore you should play it because it's basically just modded source, and it's you can play things on it, like games, other games. Getting Over It with Bennett is one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had, not because I played it, but because I installed it soon after. It was one of the most satisfying things to do, which was just to hit the uninstall button and feel like somehow I was going to impact that person who made the game by doing so. As if I was like, yeah, take that, Bennett. Ghost Runner is a game that is honestly so frustrating that I can't bring myself to keep playing it, even though I've played it for 6.2 hours. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Truthfully, it's just kind of there. Gold Rush Classic, I genuinely have no idea what this is. It looks like it was made on like a DOS thing, or perhaps made by that dude who made his own browser or his own launcher or whatever that was. I don't know what it. Gold Rush is a 10 out of 10 classic. It says so in the title. Golf It is a game in which you can play golf with people online, and it's quite fun. So feel free to hit the ball with your friends. Golf with your friends is next up, and it's another golf game. I must have gotten confused when buying it. When my friend said, hey, can you buy that golf game and play it with us? I must have accidentally bought 2 of them, or rather maybe someone else made the mistake and I wanted to compensate. Whatever makes me look less stupid is preferable, however, I feel like both of these are still stupid examples. Grand Theft Auto 5 is pretty cool. A grande bacunca español, la gran marian especial, the big mess. Yeah. Guilty Gear Zerd Revelator is an anime battle game in which I have literally no idea how to play it, however cool things keep happening, so I'm going to keep on mashing the buttons until they stop happening. Okay, so as you might be able to see, it's nighttime. And this video is it's definitely probably past 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna split this up into 2 parts. So I'm gonna end the video here. But stay tuned for part 2 if you do want it. And also go to my Twitch. My Twitch is where I am way more active. Go there, you will find more content. I will probably be streaming the editing process of part 2. So feel free to swing by twitch.tv/KaidenLive. The link will be in the description. Also, what the hell? Thank you guys so much for 700 subscribers. Holy shit. I don't know where the fuck you guys came from, but you're here. Also, if you couldn't tell already, that video that you're watching, I just deteriorated. I am exhausted after this. So I feel like refreshing myself and re-recording where we left off at this point will be a good idea. So thank you all for watching once again. Come to my Twitch, feel free to say some hellos, and yes, have a good night. I'm very tired, I want to go to bed, so look forward to part 2.